my name is Heather from Fork in the Loaf, and today I am making Wiener wraps. It's my husband's favorite dinner. It's like his favorite hot lunch from when he was a child. He loved Wiener wraps. And I don't make them that often, but I do have a picture on my intro, so I thought I should probably do a video on how I make them. So I'm going to kind of show you a little bit about what I do. First of all, I made bread this morning at about 6:30 this morning before I left for work, and it's now almost 4:30. So it's about 10 hours that it's had a chance to ferment. And it's my basic bread dough recipe. The thing that I did differently was I used milk instead of water. Thought about adding some butter to it because that will help soften it a little bit. But with Wiener wrap, I really don't mind it being a little bit on the chewier side. So I'm just going to stick with how it is right now. I did a double bread loaf. And again, the only difference, I used milk instead of water. I'm going to cut it into about 24 pieces. I've got 24 hot dogs that I've thawed, and I've got them in a colander straining so that they're as dry as we can get them to be before we cook them. I have a sheet pan. I have two half sheet pans, and I've got them lined with parchment. And I'm going to point you down and we'll get to work. I'm also going to recruit my girls at some point in time. And just to mention, this was made for me from a very dear, sweet friend of mine whom I love dearly. And she made me a towel as well with my logo on it. I thought that was so cool. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you and say thank you. Now, I experimented leaving my bread dough in the bowl that I mix it in, and it's stainless steel, and so far it's done great. It hasn't had any problems doing its rise, and it does really good, so I'm quite pleased. I'm going to try and get out as much of this oil as I can, because instead of butter, I'll just use the avocado oil that I keep it in. I'm going to start by making a ball. And I want to cut this in half because we're going to cut it into 12. So I'm going to I think I'm going to cut it into, we're going to cut it into 24, sorry. We're going to start in half. And then I think I'm going to cut this in half. That's not quite half. Cut this one in half. Okay, so to get... I'm just going to do nerdy math here. I need to get 6 out of this. I know that doesn't seem like it's a lot, but it really is. So I'm going to try and square it up a little bit. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm going to do 1, and then I'm going to cut that into thirds. Again, I could try to be exact, and I could try to get my scale out and make sure everyone weighs the exact amount, but no, thank you. I am being a little more perfect than normal right now anyway. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I counted right. And now comes the fun part. So I'm going to take each one of these little, and I wonder if this might not be too much. Okay, so I like to roll it out into a snake. And then I take my hot dog and I just roll it up like that. And you can squish it down if you want to. Sometimes I'm a little more perfect, sometimes I'm not. and I'm going to set it on there. And I'm going to do that 24 times until all of these, actually I'm not, I'm going to get my girls to come help because they love to help me do this. I'll just do one more real quick for you. And if you get, see, that just doesn't seem. If you get little spaces in your hot dog, that's okay. We're going to let this rise a little bit, and when it rises, it's going to fluff. It's going to fluff a little bit, and it'll fill all those holes. And then when you set them on your pan, you're going to leave just enough space so that when they do rise, and they're going to rise a little bit, and then when you put them in the oven, they'll rise a little bit more. Just leave enough room, and it's okay if they touch. If you have to break them apart from each other, that's okay. You just don't want them touching like biscuits or dinner rolls. So we're gonna bust all these out real quick. Sorry, we're gonna bust all these out real quick, and as soon as I'm done getting them all together, we'll show you where we're gonna go from there. Okay, so I recruited my girls to help here because that's a lot of work. So I'm going to put a damp, I have these, what are they, sackcloth towels or flour sack towels or whatever they are. Anyway, I'm going to get these damp, and I'm going to put it over it. One usually fits my dogs. So I'm going to get this damp, and I'm going to put it over both of them, and I'm going to let this rise for, it is 4:45, man. You know what, I'm not going to let it rise. You can let it rise. I would give it more than, say, an hour or so, but I'm not going to. I have an egg. I have my own chicken, so I just washed it. I don't know if you needed to know that. And I'm going to crack it into this. I'm going to crack it into this little bowl here, and I'm going to crack it in the little bowl. And I am going to mix it all up. And then I have a brush. And we're just going to egg wash this. That's all we're doing. You can add a little milk or water to this. I just kind of leave it as is. I have my handy dandy brush. And I am just going to So I just started my oven. It's at 375. I'm going to cook this for about 25 to 30 minutes. Almost all of my bread, I've noticed, takes about 30 minutes to cook. So as soon as my oven gets heated up, I'm going to pop them in, and then I will show you what they look like when they're done. And I'll be back. Okay, so they just came out of the oven. They're piping hot. Let me see if I can get you a closer view here. They are super hot. Some of them got a little darker than I usually like, but I think that's not bad. Maybe it's because I cooked them at 375 for 30 minutes. This batch right here that's had a chance to raise throughout this time, I'm going to put them in for 30 minutes at 350. I think I was missing summer because I really wanted some baked beans and some to go with the Wiener wrap. Really, I want a potato salad too, but I ran out of time for that. And normally I do a vegetable. I didn't do a vegetable this time. So this is dinner tonight. Friday night, week of testing. This is golden.